Sacramento, the Sacramento Boat Show and Big RV Show is taking over Cal Expo, March 5th through March 8th. Hundreds of boats and RVs, all in one place. From wakeboard boats and pontoon boats to motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, sprinter vans, plus fishing boats and ATVs. It's 2 huge shows, one massive event. Don't miss it. Get details now at twohugeshows.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Card Part Saturday, they're riding with you. Best card show in the country, it's true. So saddle up and listen, find out what you've been missing. You can be a Card Part 2.
Yeehaw! Yeah, this is the True Sports Card Show. Welcome in. I'm Whitey Gleason with a look at today's lineup card. Can you guess what event spawned the third highest selling Tops Now card of all time? We'll find out why Emron made like the devil and went down to Georgia and what he brought back. And we're also going to peek at Panini's last super high-end football release before turning the licensing over to Topps. So let's get started by bringing out the Willy Wonka of wax himself, Mr. True Sports Cards, Aaron Pilati.
The Willy Wonka of wax.
Willy Wonka of wax. I can't be the first one who's called you that.
Yeah, that's on my business card.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Good morning. It's good to be back. How are you?
Good.
We got to see each other for a very short time last weekend.
You were very busy.
Sacramento Autograph Expo.
Mm-hmm.
You did some incredible interviews, which was all a lot of fun.
It was my pleasure. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
The interview
Talking
that you
Doc
did.
Gooden and
Yep, and Spezio.
Yeah.
And he said something about it was okay that he didn't. He brought something up about being in Giants fan country, and he was okay about being here, and he's glad that people didn't throw any tomatoes at him.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
We're back from Georgia. We got a lot to talk about today just to get caught up. I know that I've been gone for the week, and we'll explain that in just a minute, but how's the week been as far as local news?
There's been, obviously a tragic passing of a young man at Christian Brothers.
Yes.
Not to bring the room down, but that's the first thing that comes to mind, unfortunately. And then the Kings continue to, puzzle us all, but they win 2 of 3. Is that good? I don't know. It's very confusing. It's a very confusing season. I think when you look at all the great moments of Sacramento Kings history from a fan standpoint, top 30 to 35 easy is going to be just when this season is over. That's going to be one of the best moments as a fan.
It's such a weird place to be in, right? You want to see the team do well and lose just to continue to keep the draft stock to where it's at as far as that's concerned. But I think we're still on pace for the very worst record, right?
Yep.
14 and whatever we have.
And we've got a couple of the top draft candidates actually playing as we speak. So we got Kingston, Flemings, and Houston. They're beating the bejeebies out of Colorado. And we got Duke playing right now. But, yeah, to your point, Emron, as of right now, Sacramento 14 and 47. So they're a game and a half worse than Indiana, 2 games worse than Brooklyn.
Still with a 14.5% chance of the number 1 pick.
Right.
And like a 60% of being top 3, something like that.
Well, if you have the worst record, the worst you could pick is top 5. So
that's if everything falls the incorrect way.
Yeah. Which has happened in the past.
Always makes me uncomfortable knowing the Kings' luck. Don't mess this up.
You only have, if you're the worst team with the worst record, you only have a 52.1% shot at a top 4.
Is that
at a top 4, your chances of getting a top 4, if you have the worst record, it's only 52.1.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's what they did. The NBA in 2019, they flattened all the lottery odds trying to discourage teams from losing. You don't want to lose because the odds aren't that good. Instead, more teams are going, 14% is the best shot. It's not a great shot, but if it's the best shot, I'm going to try to get that too.
I got to tell you this too. As young players get a chance to play, obviously, I don't know if the Kings are taking the tanking strategy or not, but,
Have you watched them play?
I think they're trying, and they still lose.
Yeah.
But you put a young guy in there like Daquan Plowden.
Yay.
That guy's scoring 15 to 18 points a game.
Oh, my God. That is dope.
He's great. He's really good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Malik is getting like 19 minutes a game, not too much. I think the Kings are just kind of, Did they forget that Russell Westbrook's been in the league for 20 years? Because they play him like he's a first-year player going, let's give this guy some minutes.
I think that's part of what they signed up for.
Let's see what we can get out of him.
Russ. Here's the keys. Go get him.
I think, what was it, Anthony? How many shots did he take in the first quarter?
14 against Houston.
Yeah.
He did shoot very efficiently, but it was crazy to hear Russell Westbrook mid-range.
On his revenge
Every
tour.
time.
You know how he gets against his former teams. And it turns out there are quite a few.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. He's the Chucky Brown of 2026.
Yeah, but Maxime Reynaud's been playing really well. And Nick Clifford's been doing some nice things. And Dylan Cardwell's hurt, but I know we're looking forward to his appearance at your show.
Yep.
And the Kings brought in a couple of new players this week. You haven't quite found it.
A little Killian Hayes.
A little of him goes a long ways right now.
Killian Hayes was a top 10 pick for the Detroit Pistons a while back, and people made some investments in the guy as far as cards are concerned. And next thing you know, I think he came in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the same class. It was the
You know
same,
who the number, I think, 20 pick in that draft was? Precious Achua.
who has been balling out
Precious
too.
Achua's playing out of his mind
What
right
are we,
now.
what's going on with this?
I don't know. He looks around and goes, some of these teams ain't taking us seriously.
Time
so
to
that's
trade that
an
number one
opportunity.
pick.
Yeah.
We'll trade the number. We got Precious. We'll be all right. So yeah, let's recap last week at the Expo. You were able to get your rookie card signed, right? That was something you were
Dwight
looking
Gooden.
for.
Yeah. And he said some nice things about the interviews that we did. So that was very nice. That was a nice thrill.
You met him before?
I had not met him before.
Thoughts?
It was just really cool. I just really enjoyed the interview. I guess in a way, because I remember him. You always remember an athlete like by the first impression for the most part. And I remember when he was 19 and 20, and he was so dominant. And I guess I thought he would be a little cockier, and I'm sure that's still part of it. But he's
humble,
graceful, and humble now. So that it surprised me a little bit. I guess it shouldn't have, but it did. I was expecting it, Doc, and he's.
What do you think? What do you think of Spezio?
Spezio was a cool interview.
Yeah, he's a good interview.
It was kind of like, hey, there's this guy that used to live down the street. He hit one of the most significant home runs in World Series history. But let's talk about it, because it's just like talking to a guy next door about the softball game he was in last night.
Yeah, you brought up at the beginning that his dad, Ed Spezio.
Ed Spezio.
That was the guy that you said that you saw as a what was the deal? They're the only father-son to have two rings
Each have two, yeah.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. That's impressive. Speaking of father-son, if you hear somebody in the background, it's Beckett, my son.
Is that what that was? I thought you were having stomach problems again.
That is true, and I have my son here. Here you go, Beckett. We're going to be headed to, after this, we're going to be headed to Stockton to go to Stockton Con. Our buddy Mike Millerick, who puts it on, he's doing something there at Adventus Health Arena, which is the Stockton Arena.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's a Comic Con, and I wanted to go check it out. So Beckett and I are going to do that. And
So
we're
they
going
have
to
comics there and telling jokes?
Yes, they're
Okay.
Marlon Wayans will be there and Cedric the Entertainer. No, these are actual comic books, which I'm not really into. But I do want to support my friend Mike, who supports us with our show. And I just kind of want to check something out. It's nice to see something in my hometown of Stockton. So if you have a chance and you're listening and you're in the Stockton area, go check it out. It's at the downtown arena, not too far from the ballpark.
So no cards?
I think they'll have cards there. I think they'll have like Pokemon, TCG,
Gotcha.
stuff like that. So we're gonna go check it out, and then we're gonna go visit my mother, my late mom, at the cemetery in Stockton. She is today is her birthday, so we always want to go celebrate her life that day. So Beckett's gonna go see his grandmother, and just kind of a packed day today for me and Beckett.
Yeah.
So it starts with right here in the.
I know I told you this off the air, but speaking of comic books, I was a big mostly Marvel comics when I was a kid. So last weekend, for the first time with Kenji, our grandson, we have some Marvel figures, and we were playing with him for the first time, and he loved them, all the colors and everything, and Spider-Man and Captain America and Iron Man and Ant-Man, and he looks at Hulk and he goes, no socks. It's like, yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, the guy's called the Incredible Hulk, right?
Right.
His shirt rips off, his pants rip off, his socks and shoes rip off, except for this little area of the loincloth. So maybe he's not that incredible. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's talk a little bit about this trip that I just made.
You went to Georgia.
I did go to Georgia. So my team and I, me, AJ, DJ, and Donovan, along with our friend Jamie.
You need to hire like an RJ and an LJ. Just
yes,
for the heck of it.
yes. B.J. Armstrong,
Yeah.
AJ DeBonsa,
Larry Johnson, LJ.
LJ.
Yeah.
JJ
Uh-huh.
from Coco Melon.
Yep.
I mean, we're going to get JJ McCarthy. We're going to grab all the J's.
Yep.
And we're going to start the movie company. Mm-hmm. So we went to Georgia, and it was a collection that I scattered out. Almost all of it is going to be autographed memorabilia. The only thing I think everything's autographed. But it's mainly actual memorabilia. It's like helmets and mini helmets and photos and things like that.
Sidebar, true story. When Emron went to the bank before this trip he made to Georgia, I was his security. Right?
We won't disclose how much was taken out, but we did make it in the
you
gas
just
payment.
make sure I make it to my car okay.
When you buy a transaction like this, and just to let you know, it's a 26-footer filled to the brim, and then an additional 20-footer being pulled by a big I don't know what you call it. We bought the truck too.
Yeah.
That's coming cross country. It's currently on its way. We hired some drivers to come long haul drive it. When you have something like that, you got to come up with creative financing, and we did. We came up with some creative financing to make it a pay over time deal with the owner,
no
and
security didn't get anything, so that was creative.
I think you got a blaster of Top Series 1 last week.
Well, I admit I kind of let it go to my head. I put my shades on and I was hassling people in the parking lot.
You were touching your
What are you
ear?
looking at? None to see
He
here.
doesn't have
Keep it
any money
moving.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
But you were
fun
safe.
trip.
That's the main thing.
Yes, thank goodness for you. And so we went to Georgia. We flew there on Monday or Tuesday. We packed all day Wednesday. We packed all day Thursday. By the way, that was all in the rain, which was not fun. Mm-hmm. So when you pack in the rain and you've got memorabilia, you're doing everything you can to make sure that you're running to the truck quickly.
You want to be running so that the autographs aren't.
Right, the autograph streaking all over the place.
Yeah. Who's
so
that? That used to be Sonny Jurgensen.
Yeah. It used to be. Now it's. By the way, randomly enough that you said that, there's at least 100 Sonny Jurgensen autographs in there.
I don't know how I knew that. I don't know if you told me or I just knew that.
That's really weird that you said that. And the autographs are on full-size helmets, and they were really in demand. So the owner of them, the old owner of these items, because now I'm the new owner, but the previous owner is telling me, hey, man, Sonny Jurgensen, I guess he passed in the last month.
Yeah.
And he said he was bombarded with calls for Sonny Jurgensen because he played for the Redskins. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the Redskins items are now no longer processed. So a few years back when they went to the Washington team and then they went eventually to the Commanders, prior to that, all the Redskins stuff that I had was selling like crazy when they made the change to go ahead and remove the word Redskins and change the logos and everything. So that stuff is very in demand because it's like a retro. It's like the Sonics or something.
Do you have any
like
of
that.
the old helmets with the feather in the middle?
Yes, it's called. Yes, I do have those.
The Reds.
They
when they were the Redskins.
They go. It goes right down
Instead
the center.
of the stripe, where football helmets usually have a stripe,
Yep.
with them it was a feather. Before they replaced it with the spear.
The other items that are in there, we have at least 10 full-size Johnny Unitas signed helmets.
Wow.
10 full-size Jim Brown signed helmets. We have, I'm just trying to think, $1 million backfield. That's a little before all of our time. That was Hugh McElhenny. Is that how you say it?
McElhaney.
McElhaney, sorry.
49ers, I believe.
Yes. Y.E. Tittle, and then there's another. I can't remember who the third one is, but it's called the $1 million backfield. Maybe Anthony could do a little bit of research. There's a lot of those, and I mean a lot, like probably 100 items signed.
Can I ask? I'm going to ask. You don't have to answer. Did you have to outbid anybody? Were there other bidders? Or?
No.
Wow.
I met this gentleman at the National, which is the largest card show in the world, and he was selling. He had just this insane inventory. So I bought a lot of it, and I said, "Hey, is there a way that I could buy some of this from you?" And he said, "Sure." And I said, "Can I buy it in bulk?" And he was like, "I'm not going to give you a discount because it's so cheap." I won't say who, but like I'll give you some examples. There was some Hall of Famers signed photos, and I go, "How much?" And he had them for like $6. I was like, "Oh my goodness, it's worth it for me to give this a shot. Buy some of these." So I bought about 150 autographed photos there, and they were not authenticated yet. So at $6 a piece,
So there's other costs involved.
Yeah, because you got to get them authenticated. But when you think about something like that, it's like, okay, it's worth a chance. So I took it over to PSA to get them graded. Excuse me, it wasn't PSA, but I won't say who. But I'll say, hey, is it? I'd like to get these authenticated. They asked me where did I get them from, and I told them the name of the guy, and they went, oh, okay. He's an established dealer that's been doing this for over 45 years. He's very well known within the industry. And they did a little bit of quick research, and then they stickered them all. Mm-hmm. So knowing that the 150 autographed photos that I took a chance on all passed, I said, this is a guy that's legit. He used to represent multiple athletes, including Hall of Famers. So of this collection that we purchased, 95% of it is Hall of Fame football players, and probably more than half are deceased football players. So it's a unique collection that we're going to process and get back out there to the world, and we'll see what happens. We'll make this happen. So I got some creative financing to pay back.
Well, good.
So I gotta make sure that we can take care of it. But it's an exciting collection. It may be the largest collection that's been bought in Northern California for memorabilia. I don't know. I don't keep score, but it's got to be one of the biggest.
Top 7, easy.
Top 7, at least top 9, at least.
Yeah. So when will it be available in your store?
We got to process it. So once it arrives, we have to just unload it and then separate it and kind of divvy out what needs to get done. And so it's unique. When you're buying inventory for memorabilia, it's a lot different than it is for cards because there's not really comps. They don't really go up or down. Things that go up or down usually happen upon an event. So, for example, when Kobe passed, a lot of the memorabilia went up because it was so sudden to have him in his early 40s. I think he might have been 41 when he passed. There was an expectation that there was going to be 30 years of Kobe signing autographs. And then when they stopped because he passed, instantly everything jumps up. Another significant event when somebody goes up in value in memorabilia is when they do an achievement, like LeBron getting his, the all-time leading scorer, something like that. Or then eventually when people go into the Hall of Fame. So you'll see people like Drew Brees, they'll have an increase since he got in, etc. Luke Kuechly is a big gainer in value because nobody was expecting Luke Kuechly to get in his first year. We all kind of thought Gore would. Gore didn't get in. Mm-hmm. And I have more, even more than my Malik Monk collection of autographs, I have Roger Craig. So with Roger going into the Hall of Fame this year, obviously that's an increase in value in the items that I have. But it also comes down to scarcity as well. Roger's been signing for a lot of years, and he also is a TTM King stand for through the mail. I don't think he does it anymore, but he was doing through the mail for free, and obviously that devalues each autograph. So autographs and memorabilia are a completely different animal, very different than what you might see in cards, but still, people love it because that's the best way to display it. People love to be able to display helmets or frame photos or frame jerseys versus a card that's sitting in a box.
What if I have 2 cards that are autographed? One is a card that I pulled. Name any player, doesn't matter, any famous player.
Let's go with
Somebody's
Joe Montana.
Okay. Well,
current or
current?
Current. Let's do Brock Purdy.
Okay, so I have a Brock Purdy autograph card that I pulled from whatever. I also have a Brock Purdy card that I took and had him sign, and then I had them both graded, so they're legitimate. Is there any difference in the price? Is the one that
was
I
pulled out of a
pulled
out
as
of a
opposed
pack.
to one that I took to him and had him sign?
Okay, this is totally true, totally random. I don't know why this is the case. On the East Coast, people love on-card aftermarket signed autographs, meaning that you pulled the card, it's a regular Brock Purdy card, and then they take it and they have it signed, and then they authenticate it through slabbing, like with CGC, JSA slabbing, or PSA DNA. They love it. West Coast, don't enjoy it. They don't like it that much. West Coast, pack pulled, get it graded, I'm excited.
That's so strange.
It's absolutely backwards, and you'll see a lot of memorabilia on the East Coast.
Which one do you use most backwards?
I can't believe that people on the West Coast don't love memorabilia the way that the East Coasters do. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand why. I think it may have to do with, I would tell you that there's some legacy dealers. When you go to the National, if you go to the National, which this year is in Chicago from July 29th until August 3rd, which I'll be at set up, I would probably say more than 75% of the dealers are Chicago East. Very rarely do you have, not rarely, but there's far less West Coast dealers that go out to the East Coast or even Midwest to go and set up at shows.
It's kind of, maybe it's a bit of a flip of a coin, but to me, of those two cards, the one I pull from a pack that has an autograph as opposed to the one that I pulled without an autograph, then took it to the guy to have it signed, that one has a little more character.
Nobody has more of that, what you're describing, than me. You've been in my warehouse. You know what it looks like. I have over 17,000 autographed on-card photos that
Not
have been...
anymore.
Excuse me.
You weren't watching me when I was in your warehouse. But anyway.
That's an awfully big backpack. What you got there? I gotta go. Stuff. Blasters from Barnes & Noble. Beckett's really going to town down here. This place is a wreck. Go for it, Beckett. He's playing with every toy you can imagine. He's
inventing some new toys.
It's just so unique. There's the Philly Card Show, which is next week. A buddy of mine, Joe Drelich, owns that one. He also is one of the key owners of the National. So he puts on this massive show called the Philly Card Show. Lots of memorabilia, lots of hockey. East Coast hockey is really popular. And then one other thing too, raw vintage cards. Not a lot of graded cards in the vintage on the East Coast. It really is night and day between the two different types of collectors.
Real quick, speaking of hockey, you mentioned hockey. The final print run for Jack Hughes Golden Goal Topps Now card was available on Topps website this year. And Topps Now is something where Topps makes to commemorate current events.
Usually immediately within 24 hours of the event.
Right. So they only print as many as they can sell because people order them and then they print them. So the run for the Jack Hughes Golden Goal Topps Now card, third highest print run since they started doing it about 10 years ago. The third highest of all. And I'll just go over the top 5 real quick. Number 5 was LeBron, 50,000 career points. Number 4, Shohei. Remember the game he had where he had 10 strikeouts and 3 home runs?
The greatest game ever by a player.
Jack Hughes, 2026 Winter Olympics hockey gold medal card. Number 3. Number 2, Summer Olympics, the LeBron, Steph, Kevin Durant card.
Which the autograph is still missing.
Really?
It has not been pulled yet.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons some of these cards sell as well as they do, because there's a promise of somebody's going to get an auto or a variant. And no one got the auto for that.
No, not yet.
Number 1, print run of 653,737.
Wemby?
No, it's Shohei's 50-50 card.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because the way that the Topps Now works is they put it on their website as an available card. They take the orders and then they print to order. So like you said, the Jack Hughes is a print to order. And what they'll do is they put them in a pack, and let's say that you order 10 of them. They'll put 10 of them in a pack, so people are excited because they're looking for a parallel. They're looking for an autograph. They're looking for something like that. But yeah, those LeBron it's LeBron, Durant, and Curry. So one of one. They believe that card's worth $1 million+ if and when it's pulled, and the packs themselves go for $4,000 a pack right now. I just saw a couple of them available, and people are like, "Do we rip it or do we sell it for $4,000?" I don't know.
By the way, number 7 on that list, Pope Leo.
Of course it is.
The Pope Leo Topps Now card.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, Topps Now, they make about everything. One of the more popular ones here locally is the Nick Kurtz 4 home runs game. That's another Topps Now. Are you excited? We got baseball right around the corner. We have baseball going on right now.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get overly excited. We got a ways to go yet, but I am looking forward to it. And how's Topps? Speaking of Topps cards, Topps Stadium Club. I hear that's been doing really well.
It's doing well. It always does well. It's the first middle premium selection of the year. However, everything's coming out as 2025 product. So even though Stadium Club just came out in the last 2 weeks, it really is a 2026 release with a 2025 numeric to it.
Is that still leftover from the pandemic and they've just never caught up?
It's still trailing. Yeah. It's crazy. And some people, I would tell you, in the football world, it's kind of cool. So, for example, one of the releases that just came out in the last week was Panini Flawless Football 2025. And why is that important? That's important because you're able to know who you should be collecting at the end of the year, right when a release comes out. So, for example, we thought that if you think about this year's football release, and again, we're talking baseball, but let me just give you an example. Football release, we all thought it was going to be, Travis Hunter. And it could be Travis Hunter still, but he got hurt and he didn't have a great season, and he tried to play two-way and it just didn't work out that well. So while Travis Hunter still has a lot of potential, he's not the number one chase in there. The number one chase is the first quarterback that was taken off the board, which was Jackson Dart. Or I'm trying to think who his number one pick was. Who was it last year? Number one?
Cam?
Oh, yeah, Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Jackson Dart was the number 2 pick, but he's the chase, him and Scatabo. So you're able to have the entire year go through, and you're able to now get a new release, and you're like, well, I know who I'm going to chase because I saw the first year of how it went. Cam Ward actually had a really great second half of the season. But, yeah, it's to have a release of 2025 come out in February of 2026 is kind of a unique situation, but I think eventually it'll get caught up, but I think a lot of it is that Topps Fanatics and Panini are able to say, it gives us a little grace. We're able to take our time with getting these releases out.
Well, this is a significant release because this is Panini's last football release before they relinquish the licensing, right?
Well, you talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago when you talked about Don Russ coming out as an unlicensed product, and they're not ready to give up yet. But as far as the release of new product license, this is the last hurrah.
So my friend Anthony, he's looking at Panini Flawless Football, and he's not sure he wants to make the investment. One of the hobby's most coveted and high-end products of the year. 6 cards in a box, Anthony, and you find the cards encased in not cardboard, but its own dedicated briefcase.
The briefcases sell pretty well on eBay.
Really?
Well, just the empty briefcase.
How much is this going to set my pal Anthony back to get? I think you're looking for a box, right, Anthony? Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Just one.
Two briefcases to a case, a sealed case.
Okay.
They go for right around $7,000 a case, right? A briefcase.
No, he just wants one.
Yes. $7,000. We sold one.
That's so whack.
We sold. Price-wise, that is whack.
Even for Anthony, that's how much it is.
The Anthony discount? What about Kyle Draper? I'm gonna need that a half of half.
Wait, maybe I didn't say it right.
You're correct.
Because it's 6 cards.
No, it's 6 autographs. So there's gonna be
in a briefcase, though.
Yeah, you're correct. I'm wrong.
You can keep the briefcase, Emron. I just want the cards. What is
6
that going to do
autograph?
Okay. What's that going to do?
No, it's more than 6 cards. So lucky you. 6 autographs per box, 2 memorabilia cards per box, 1 gem card, as in like a little diamond.
Oh, okay.
And then also an additional gem or mem card per box. So you're getting 1, 8, 9.
Well, I apologize, then. This
10
information
cards.
at
10 cards.
comes incorrect. Okay.
10 cards for $7,000.
Oh, well, 10 cards there. Okay, well, that makes sense then. That is dope.
So, so if you think about this, when somebody buys a box like that, and I'm not one to sell boxes like that at a high level. I'll buy 1 or 2 for resale purposes, not much more than that. I personally don't like them, and so maybe I'm really biased about it, but I just feel weird about selling that to my customer base. And even though there is a small segment of my customer base that will buy that and like it, you should see the look I get when they get what's called skunked. And
I can imagine.
yeah, I get weird looks from you for selling a $150 box to you and it doesn't hit. They're like, oh, thanks, Emron. I'm like, I'm not Topps. I didn't pack this, Whitey. And you're like, tell that to your register, buddy.
Yeah.
So when somebody pays $7,000 retail for a box and they open it and the best thing that they got was a Ozzie Newsome autographed jersey card, and they look at me, they go, really? And I go, yeah, hug? Hug? We'll go get pedicures together? I don't know what to do at that point. So I try to limit my customers' exposure on that. If they want, it's a great product for breaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're going in there and you're dividing up, and these breakers, they'll usually price it somewhere around $8,500 to $10,000, and then they divide that up by 32 for each team, and then it's hidden, so everybody's paying $300 a spot instead of paying $7,000 for the box. So they might get the Niners for $300, and they're going, that seems like a fair deal. I might not get anything, but I'm into the box for only $300. Meanwhile, when you add it all up times 32, it's $10,000 a box instead of the $7,000. But it's an affordable way for you to get into a product to do that. So
that's the dangerous thing about football cards. There's so many football players.
Right.
That there's so many guys that you probably have never heard of, and bless them for being professionals, but you could get autographs, but it may be of, backup tackles or something.
And buyer beware when you're looking at items that are at the very end of their run, like a Panini Prism football, because they're jamming a bunch of stickers that they've had that they've been sitting on.
Really?
Well,
I hadn't thought of that.
Well, think about it. When they're doing 4 or 5 or 6.
That's a good point.
When they're doing 4 or 5 or 6 autographs per box, you're loading them up because you've got a bunch of Zay Flowers sitting around and stickers. So it's like, we got to unload these bad boys before it's too late.
I take a Zay Flowers. But
okay, I'm using that as an example. How about Rashad?
Rashad Bateman.
Rashad Bateman. I'm trying. Well, R.I.P. Rashad Bateman. If I'm thinking of the right Rashad Bateman, but I'm thinking about like just random dudes that you have, like Javon Curse. Nice player, but are you sitting there going, wow, I got a Javon Curse auto in this box that I just spent $1,000 for?
Well, maybe my friend Anthony would be better off diversifying a little bit and getting more cards for his money. How about Topps Finest Basketball? Now
that is brand new.
Okay,
I had it.
You interested in it? Maybe
I had it.
We'll see.
Or do you want you got your heart set on the
flawless?
Does it come with a briefcase?
It does not come with a briefcase.
I'm out.
You can buy the briefcases that they have.
Yeah, they have them online.
True Sports Card.
Oh yeah, because those briefcases are nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they come with a key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one.
Do you?
Yeah.
How'd you get one?
Somebody named Emran gave it to me.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't give me one?
I didn't know you. What, are you going to put all your Jared Stidham cards in there?
Yeah, I got a lot.
I was going to say, you don't need to keep them in a briefcase. Mm-hmm. The Finest, we know that Baseball Finest is right around that $400 to $500 mark after it's been released. And so we knew that Finest Basketball was going to be pretty good. It was our first year of licensed Finest product. And they really, again, I've said this many shows in a row now, and I still mean it. This class has just blessed Topps and Fanatics. If you're going to come into a class for basketball, what a class to come into. Con Knuppel is looking like he's shaping up to be potentially Rookie of the Year with Cooper Flagg missing out on all these games. I'm a big Con Knuppel believer. Mm-hmm. I think this guy is legitimately a real deal. Football. He's got, he broke the rookie record in
Who held the record previously?
Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray had it.
Mm-hmm. By the way, just in case he's listening, Rashad Bateman, I believe, is
Am I
doing
wrong?
fine.
Oh, who am I thinking?
I'm not sure.
There is a Rashad that just passed. Mm-hmm. Well, Rashad Bateman, shout out to you and your sticker autos.
Yes.
Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh, this class with Finest. And we knew that it was going to be pricey, but man, has it jumped. I had it released on my pre-order. So for those of you that don't know, I will give you an option when I have more than a few cases of a product that's allocated to me by Topps, and they've blessed me with it, the opportunity to buy it. I'll put it on our website with a chance of you paying for it and buying it pre-sale, slightly lower than what we would put it on our on our shelf when release date comes. So we had it on our pre-sale for $6.60 a box, and so we sold through all of that. And release date, the retail price was $8.50. So
wow.
So Papa over here, Daddy over here, left a lot of money on the table. But that's the benefit of getting pre-released pricing when you get that, because I'm able to sell product before I even, the release date's there. Then I either ship it or I have you come pick it up on release day. And it's now, I just looked at the pricing right now. It's right now approaching $950 a box, and it's only been out for 4 days.
You still in it?
Not sure.
Okay. There's one other release that just came out that we have. It's WWE Universe.
Oh.
And I absolutely love wrestling. Everybody knows that. Uh-huh. If you don't, you should know that. I'm a wrestling nut. I go crazy over wrestlers and getting to meet them. And randomly enough, I'm going to drop a little bit of a flex real quick. I want to show you this that came through this morning. and you don't need to read the most of it, but you can see who the name is that texted me this morning about potentially being part of our show in. Wow. Do you know that name?
No.
You don't know that name?
I don't.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay, no problem.
I could pull an Alan Styles
He's
like
a
he does with movies.
He's
and
a
say,
WWE
"Oh, yeah."
Hall of Famer. Why don't you go ahead and look up that name? And he texted me this morning about potentially being part of our show in September, so our big show. WWE Universe just came out. It's a brand new product. It has a lot of really shiny cards. And one of the first products of the 2026 calendar year just came out. And the guy that you're doing research on Wikipedia, who is it?
Well, do you know his real name?
I don't. What's the real name?
Merced Solis.
Merced Solis. If anybody knows who Merced Solis in the YouTube chat, put it in there and we'll say it once we see it come through. But yeah, Merced Solis texted me this morning and said, hey, have some interest in being in part of your show. Let's talk some numbers and see if we can make it work.
I didn't know. Did you know you signed with the Chiefs?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know
He
that.
played in the Canadian Football League, too.
Yeah, he was part of one of the great tag teams in history. He's been around for a long time. He was with a tag team called Strike Force. And as cheesy as you could think of, whatever that is, it's true. In 1980s, he was with Strike Force with a guy by the name of Rick Martel. Rick the Model Martel, the two of them together. It was Tito Santana is who we're talking about. Arriba, he used to say. And one of the first...
Hall of Famer, class of 2004.
That's right. One of the crossovers that came over and was a Mexican wrestler who came over and hit mainstream during the Hulk Hogan years, and just a great guy. I met him once, shook his hand once, but other than that, I've never communicated with him. So pretty excited to have him potentially be part of our September show, which is going to be September 5th and 6th at the Roebling Center.
I can't say anything, but I'm hearing about another big name or two that may be part of that show.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's getting pricier by the day, but we're going to have quite the lineup in September. So
could be a thrill for a lot of people.
We'll make it happen if we can. Shout out to our friend Mike Douglas for helping me connect with Tito Santana. Topps Finest, just to close that out. Topps Finest is going to go through the roof. It's going to continue to go through the roof. Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe, Con Knuppel, Dylan Harper. I mean, these names are huge. And there's some names that haven't even been tapped yet. Malawach, who's part of the Suns, he's getting 0 run, but he was a top 10 pick. For the Suns, they're playing really well, so they're trying not to mess with the chemistry.
Will Max be in there?
Max should be in this product. Yep.
Okay.
He should be in this product. Again, I haven't looked at the checklist, but we'll look it up later. Great product, and I'm going to try to go get more, but as we go up the ladder, I try to be like a responsible bartender and watch what my customers want. If they want it, I'll get it. But I like to give some affordable opportunities, and affordable nowadays in 2026 is a different world than it was even 5 years ago. Affordable for a box is $400. Unfortunately, that's where we're at. So do what we can. We also have megas and retail and blasters on the other side of the wall. When you walk in, it's on the left-hand side. So anything that you might see at Target or Walmart, if they've sold out and you want a product that's going to be under $100, we usually have that stuff as well. So we have everything for every budget. But for those of you that want the heavy hitters, we'll do what we can to accommodate you.
It looks like, based on this quick look at the checklist, the only Kings are DeRozan and Zach LaVine.
Ooh. No, that can't be the case. Sabonis got to be on there, right?
In the first 100, because they have them grouped by, well, I'll double check again here, but I didn't see them. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about this, Simon, and I know that you poke fun at me all the time for my hobby for going after my propensity to go after retail. But the Topps Chrome basketball,
I don't make fun of you.
Mega.
I just say
those things are hard to get.
I just say when you go, I didn't get anything in it.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Yeah,
but I'm just telling you, they, I haven't bought any in a while. I keep an eye on them. I know you've had them in your store. They're hard to get. They're really
the megas,
hot products.
Yeah,
right now.
in fact, we had them on our shelves originally at like 110, and they just kept climbing along with every other product for Topps Chrome. And there was not a scandal, but kind of a mistake that Topps made that they were going to do. They were going to do these blue refractors in there, And come to find out, there was no such thing that was
it
inserted.
says on the box.
Yes.
Yeah. By
So-
the way, Max is in. He is in the.
Awesome.
Yeah, finest.
Well, you got to think Neek is in there too, right? As a first year.
I'll get back to you.
We're just skipping We're skipping the first rounder, and we're talking about the second
Malik.
rounder. Malik's in there. You've got to have some base in there, right? You can't just have nothing but stars in there. They've got to have a decent mix of everybody.
But those are the only Kings that I see in the Top's finest.
And all of them, that's the only way you're going to see them because they're all out for the year.
Neek is number 113. Yes,
113?
Neek is in there.
Russ has
There
got
you
to be
go.
in there, and but who cares about any of them? Where's Precious Achua?
Yeah, shut out. But I do have some of his rookie cards if you are interested.
2017.
Precious is 2020.
Oh, he's 2020 by the Heat.
His teammate in college was second. He was the second player taken in that draft, and his teammate in college is not currently playing in the NBA.
Who's his teammate in college?
James Wiseman.
Oof. He's on the Olympic team, though.
What?
Look it up. He's on the USA team.
The Olympic?
Well, it's the team representing USA. That's what I should say.
Okay.
The USA team he's representing right now. James Wiseman.
Like the FIBA thing.
Okay.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Definitely surprised me. I'm
My-
going to look it
My
up.
favorite is, what?
Yeah.
That is whack.
Mm-hmm.
About?
James Wiseman and Team USA fall to Dominican Republic in FIBA qualifier. Okay.
It's going well. It's going well. It's going well.
At least he's still playing.
There's always that. That's the best caveat. At least you're still playing? Yeah. James Wiseman, number 2 pick of that draft.
Yeah.
Hey, poor Warriors. Maybe they'll be okay.
They asked for it.
Yeah, no
They
kidding.
asked for it.
They had
Yeah.
LaMelo in their hands.
Do you have any idea who the top rookies are, speaking of rookies, that we should be looking for in our baseball products this year? I know we touched on that.
When it comes to rookies, Roman Anthony is far and away the number one. Well, not far and away because we're talking about 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, Roman Anthony's the number one in that. And then you're going to see other guys like Jack Caglione and
Jacob Mizorowski.
Mizrowski. Yep. The superfractor for Mizrowski was pulled. So that's kind of cool. And I think Roman Anthony has been hyped up as probably one of the future MVP candidates. And he played like it the second part of the year. So I would just say that Roman Anthony is your chase for the year.
By the way, I just want to share this on the YouTube chat from Gerald Murphy. Big fan of both you guys in the show. You always say, everyone is big fan
how
of
do I
both
talk?
you guys.
How do I
and
talk?
yeah.
I hate when I talk.
I learned that from your wife because your wife says you talk that way. She's right. I've been a sports talk radio fan for 30 years. This is my favorite show. Love all the content. From Gerald Murphy.
I wonder what it'd be like.
He's trying to get something free.
Come on in, Gerald Murphy.
From AC.
Compliments will get you everywhere with me.
Stadium Club rules. Some people think the reason Stadium Club is always this late is because of the vast number of on-card autos that Topps is waiting to receive from the players.
True. I have a friend of mine that's waiting on a Wemby redemption auto, and I don't know if that's going to happen ever. So we'll see.
And we have from Peg Junk. Hey, Peg Junk. Thoughts on WWE Universe?
Any wrestling product is my favorite. I don't expect you to know this, Whitey, but have you seen NBA Recon out of Panini?
Yeah, I've never
It's
bought
got
it, but
it's
I've
got
seen
like a
it.
foil to it. That's how Universe looks like.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. It's got that foil feel to it. It's not a chrome product, so I love it. And there's event
Is that like a faux high-end?
event worn pieces
Like
in
it's
it.
supposed to look high-end, but it's not? Is that kind of what it is?
I would say it's a medium
Okay.
price product. I think
Okay.
it's under a couple $100 per box, which is similar to like Revolution, which again, these are all crossover Panini products, even though I'm talking about a Topps Fanatics product now. But you see what's happening right now?
Looks like Beckett is going to town on some of the... That was probably on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
just nothing happening.
doing some
nothing
cleanup.
Nothing to see here. He's doing a little origami.
Yeah.
All right, so going into this upcoming season now with baseball, do you have any? Well, let me step back for a second. We talked a little bit about events that change values for players. We've got some new Hall of Famers to the mix coming up that some people have asked me, should I start collecting some of these Hall of Famers? I'm laughing because I could hear what's going on behind me with Beckett. So for the 2026 class, can we talk about that? Do you mind? Of the Hall of Famers?
I would love to.
I don't know. Is there something else that you'd rather talk about?
No.
Because it's been something that I've wanted to. Thank you, Anthony, for solving that issue. I think you're about 30 seconds too late on that one. The Hall of Famers, both in football or baseball, do we collect them? Should we spend the time and money and effort of doing this? What should we do? For Major League Baseball, two current and one of the senior. I don't know if it's senior or veterans, but we have Jeff Kent, a local Giants hero. He's in. Carlos Beltran and Andrew Jones. Those were the ones that were selected to come in. Do you see any collectability in any of those three? Would you invest any money into those three?
No. Other than just, whoops. Lights out. If you're fans of those guys, they're cool players, but as far as their overall appeal and long-term investability, which is not a word, but I've made it up.
I like it.
They have long-term investability. I don't see it. Nothing against them as players.
I feel like Kent being the all-time home run hitting second baseman of all time. I just did something redundant twice. That was let there be light. Beckett is playing with the lights right now, which is a lot of fun too.
He's experimenting with
He's
them.
enjoying life right
The
now.
lighting.
I think Andrew Jones of the three is probably the one that I would invest in. He's been a long time Gold Glover. Everybody thought that he was going to be a Hall of Famer eventually. It's weird because every year a player seems to either track upwards or downwards as far as the votes are concerned. And I think Andrew Jones has been on the ballot for like 8 years in a row. And he just slowly and steadily went up. And we knew that Andrew Jones was going to be there. You have him on one of the great teams of all time, which was the 95 Braves, which won the World Series. And so he is a World Series champion. He was a Gold Glove center fielder. He hit the home runs. He hit the average. And he played for the Atlanta Braves, which is one of the more dominant teams of the 1990s with Bobby Cox leading the way. Beltran bounced around. I can't even say what team I would attribute him to.
He was pretty good, though. He's the best
great.
player of the bunch. But
I would agree with
he's
you.
even with the Giants briefly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he was the manager of the Bang the Garbage Can Houston Astros. Or he was on the staff.
He was on the staff.
On the staff.
Yeah.
So that was part of the scandal. So he kind of lost a little bit of luster there.
But it's funny, Emron, because there's great players from the 70s and 80s that growing up, I remember just tremendous players. But still, their long-term viability, they just, Ozzie Smith. Everyone knows how amazing Ozzie Smith was, or Dave Parker, who was a legend. But those guys, big picture, those are not the guys that you necessarily want to invest in. Even like Tony freaking Gwynn, you can get his rookie cards for their
under $20.
Yeah,
for 83.
Uh-huh.
And that's the kind of stuff like, if I was to tell anybody for investing purposes, who would I collect right now? I'd have a nice little mix. Let's get some current players that you really enjoy, and then I would lock into some highly graded of the GOATs. Like right now, not right now, but it's a solid investment moving forward. I'd pick up Ricky Henderson 1980 tops in a grade 8 or higher, whatever your affordability is. That kind of stuff it's just not going to go down.
Yeah.
You're not going to have volatility in that. That's a long-term investment.
If you're really looking at investability, I still think there's time to get in. It's getting late, and you got to swallow hard on some of this, but Ohtani stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every year you go, it's got to peak, and then it goes higher next year.
Yeah.
And then you go, it's got to peak, and then it goes higher the next year. Mm-hmm. Becky, baby, come here, hon.
Yeah.
He's smiling at you while he's doing this. He's doing it right because of you. For those of you radio only, Beckett is turning off the lights on or on.
Basketball, I still would jump on Wemby.
Really?
Yeah. And I know with his health scare last year, his value of just his cards. Remember, we're not talking about how good he is, although that's part of it. We're talking about, his card's going to take off. I still think there's time to get in on the ground floor. Again, it's getting a little late, but it's late enough where you have a pretty good idea. All right, I'm really got a chance to
Okay,
hit
so
on
there's
this.
a unique situation this season in particular with the 65 games played threshold in order for you to qualify for an award.
Yeah.
By the way, Rookie of the Year does not count.
Right.
So that's one of the ones that won't. But Jokic, if he's suspended from yesterday's fights I mean, he'll be past the threshold to where he'd missed enough games to where he won't qualify for MVP. SGA is like 6 games or 8 games away from not making it, which he probably should.
Cade actually has a shot.
I was just gonna say,
yes.
Cade is somebody that I might invest in, knowing that he's gonna be all NBA, first team, and he's playing incredible. Team's really kicking butt, and so Cade might be an investment. I think he's an investment anyways. People forget that guy was the number 1 pick.
I know. He was the number 1 pick in a draft where I remember this because that was when people were still gung-ho over buying cards, but the market was starting to cool off. And a lot of people at that time said, there's good players in this draft, but that guy's not in there.
That's Chet. I think Scotty Barnes is in that draft.
Scotty Barnes, yes.
Yeah. So when you look at some of these guys that you're investing in, I like that you threw in the Wemby part. He's unique and different. His scoring's down a little bit in the last 20 games. But
they could win a championship this year.
They really
I'm
could.
not predicting that, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah. Kind of unique.
Yeah. So those would be the 2 guys. If someone asked me, they'd be silly to ask me. But who do I invest in? I still would say, Shohei and Wemby would be the 2 that I would invest in. As far as that draft, the Cade draft, he was number 1, first pick, and then it was Jalen Green second. Jalen Green, of course, who was traded from the Rockets to the Suns in the Durant deal. Evan Mobley was the 3rd pick. Scotty Barnes 4. Jalen Suggs 5. Josh Giddey. Jonathan Kuminga 7. Franz Wagner 8. Davion Mitchell 9th to the Kings. And then Zaire Williams was the 10th.
I think
Şengün went 16th. Trey Murphy 17th.
That's a good draft. I would tell you Kuminga is a sneaky.
Jalen Johnson 20th.
Ooh. Yeah, Kuminga is a sneaky investment right now. I would actually look at Kuminga as a potential investment.
I would not.
Okay, let me tell you why I
Okay.
would. The reason why is because Atlanta has a really strong team so far. They traded away Young, so that way they could have Jalen Johnson be their all-star. And then the second part of it is that they could potentially have a top 5 pick this year because of the Derek Queen trade with the Pelicans. And they're going to get that unprotected first-round pick this year. And Pelicans have a bottom 5 record right now. Could you imagine the Hawks are going to get a potential top 5 pick?
That pick was higher, and I think it's going to be very difficult Atlanta there's nothing they can do about it. I think it's unlikely they're going to get a top 5 pick because Utah is 6th, and Utah is in a hard tank. Washington, Brooklyn, Indiana, Sacramento are all in hard tanks right now. New Orleans is actually, because they don't have anything to gain by losing games, they're actually trying to win. And right now they have 18 wins, the same as Utah. So I think that Atlanta pick, which they get from New Orleans, I think they're going to slide out of the top 5. I don't know how far they're going to drop, but I don't think they're going to get a top 5 pick.
Well, you got to look at the rest of the Pelicans season, but yeah.
They've won 3 in a row. They're trying to win.
Like the Kings.
I guess.
Somebody better tell Daquan Plowden to stop playing so hard. He's really balling.
Can you imagine, Emron, if you took Daquan Plowden's fire and intensity and you gave that to Keegan? Can you imagine what we'd have?
You think Keegan doesn't have that?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he has as much of it.
If
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, sure, he's got it, just not as much as Daquan Plowden.
I'd agree. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. These Kings are trying. These young Kings are trying. Them and Westbrook. Westbrook tries at everything all the time, 100%, no matter what he does.
Unless maybe the other team has the ball. But anyway, 2020 draft. Ant first, Wiseman second. It was LaMelo, Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, Okongwu sixth. Killian Hayes was the 7th pick that year. The 7th pick to the Pistons. Then it was Obi Toppin, Denny Avdia, Jalen Smith, Devin Vassell, Tyrese Halliburton 12th.
Oh.
Then Kira Lewis, Aaron Nesmith, Cole Anthony, Isaiah Stewart, Okushevsky, Josh Green, Sadiq Bey. Precious Achiuwa was the 20th pick in that draft by the Miami Heat, and the 21st pick that year, Tyrese Maxey.
If I'm not mistaken, if you look a little deeper, I think Peyton Pritchard's in that draft. Did you say that already?
No, he's 26th.
Yeah. Well, and that guy, Do the redraft. That guy's a top 6 pick. I mean, he's awesome. You never think that a little short guy from Oregon would be that good, but man, he's incredible for Boston. And you talk about clutch as well. I mean, he's awesome.
Did you see Caitlin Clark's face when Reggie Miller compared her to Peyton Pritchard? They were talking to Carmelo, I think, and Reggie Miller, and she was there. And he was asked, well, who's her comp? And he goes, I got one. Peyton Pritchard. And she's like, what?
She looks so mad.
Yeah.
I'm the greatest female basketball player in the game today, and you just compared me to Peyton Pritchard?
I give Reggie a pass on that because I think he kind of meant if she was actually in the league right now. Obviously, her comp in the WNBA is somebody much better.
Right.
But if she was in playing with the men, she might be like Peyton Pritchard, which in a way might be a compliment. I don't know.
So we'd have you coming off the bench for the Boston Celtics, Caitlin. Are we good? Oh, man. She could probably hang.
Maybe.
She's got the shot. You could hang anywhere as long as you can shoot.
You can shoot. Yeah.
As long as you can shoot.
That's what the Kings need more of, and that's why I'm hoping they end up with Darren Peterson.
Let's close this out. So just to let you know, we've got just a few minutes left. We talked about the Hall of Famers who you invest in. Here's your football Hall of Famers for this year. Roger Craig, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, and Luke Kuechly and Adam Vinatieri. Any investments that you would make in that group?
Yeah, Roger Craig because he's local.
Yeah, I love Roger. You know that. We already established that. And he's affordable. His rookie's out of 84 tops. And you can find a lot of those, including autograph versions of that at TrueSportsCards.com. We have a lot of those. I think that the play is Luke Kuechly. I don't know why. I've seen it already. I saw it at the expo. Luke Kuechly was selling at the show.
Really?
Yes, it's because he's a player that plays for the Panthers. I can't recall if there's any. He might be the first Panther ever to get into the Hall of Fame. Can't recall another one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody played a few years as a Panther. But Kuechly was a Panther from the beginning to the end. And he's in. And then I think Brees already kind of seen his peak. Everybody knew it was a foregone conclusion that he was going to be.
He may buy the Padres, by the way.
He's got that kind of funds.
Well, he's part of a group, so I wonder if that would impact his value.
I know what he charges per autograph. He probably could do it in just one signing.
Okay, there you go.
And then Larry Fitzgerald. Some of these guys, when they're so like no doubter Hall of Famers, they've already seen their peak. Whereas Kuechly was like, "What? That's crazy."
Larry Fitzgerald is kind of like the Tim Duncan of football, except they didn't win nearly as much.
Yeah, they almost did with Kurt in the Super Bowl against the Steelers. Yep.
Yeah.
But Larry was incredible.
He was.
Incredible player and very difficult autograph to get. He didn't sign very much, and so when you get an autograph Larry Fitzgerald item, it's worth some money. And he came out of a draft that didn't really have much in that draft. I think it was 2009. I think the only rookie that was in there that made super impact, maybe I'm wrong, it was Sean Taylor. The late Sean Taylor was in that draft as well.
So what's going on in the store these days? You got...
So I'm back.
Yeah.
Today I'm not going to be there. Donovan and AJ are both back. They're jet lagged because we came back and we're on East Coast time.
How many people did you take back there, and how come Anthony and I were not part of the crew?
Well, we needed security back home, so I kept you here.
Okay.
You were wearing the Ray-Bans.
I get it.
With the Crokies.
I don't have a briefcase, so I can't go.
Yes, exactly. Anthony with his briefcase just walking around. Yeah. So, we brought 5 of us. And we all went and enjoyed our time there together and bonded and had a lot of Southern, is that considered Southern? Yeah, barbecue, lots of it.
Okay.
And so we're back, and I'm ready to get back to work starting tomorrow. But the team's there. Come on by the shop. We'd love to see you. And we're back to buying again once again.
Have fun at the Stockton Comic Con.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. We're back with you next week, and we'll see you at the True Sports Card Store.
Restaurant right next door to the card store.